Mic check, mic check. Bishop Nathanyel, IUIC, running from Ron Dalton Jr. What's going on, y'all? It's Priest Akai, aka Deacon Genesis, big G's, not the little ones. Here to feed the little ones, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. And we do so by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. That's just all praise to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Back at y'all with another one, y'all. Friday lituations. We got Friday lituations. We got a special guest today coming in hot. Special guest today coming in hot. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Bow.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The camp is here. So I want to hear the chant that the champ is here. Bars. Y'all know what's going on. Look at this: green for the money, gold for the honey. Big G's in the building, y'all. Fall in, climb in, like, share, subscribe, all the stuff for love forgets. We're going up today. We're going up tonight, so-called Friday. Shabbat Shalom from my Friday night to Saturday night. Keepers, lunar Sabbath keepers will be observing it tomorrow. So all praises for that. Yeah, y'all, it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic in the community today. A hot topic in the community today. Word on the street is Bishop Nathanyel allegedly. We're gonna look at all the evidence and we're gonna make a judgment. Allegedly, you know, the beloved Bishop Nathanyel of IUIC is running from Ron Dalton. This is what Ron Dalton is saying. I did see just today the brief interaction with them. You guys are going to see the brief interaction. I heard about the noise a week ago or two, but I didn't even know they kind of got it in. A little quick, little mix and match, a little phone booth sparring session real quick. Little phone booth fade, right? We're going to take a look at that and analyze that. We're going to take a look at Ron Dalton. He's on a campaign to come against the One West leaders. You know, let's just be real. The leaders of the One West. He is on a campaign right now. I want to show you guys a couple of things. So, my bad. Let me go out here. Let's go out a little bit more. Make sure we're good here. All right, how we look all right. So we want to take a look at this interaction, man. It almost turned into a debate. It almost turned into an actual debate when they did see each other. I want to show you. So Ron Dalton is on Sabnetta, talking about he's calling out everybody. He went on vocab, say he's calling out everybody. So that's what we want to do. Today we're going to run it up, y'all. We're going to take a look at Ron Dalton, say he's calling out the leaders of One West. He say everybody's scared, everybody's running. We're going to fact check that. We're going to see, is the bishop running? Is it worth the debate? You know, there was some things being said. There were some insults because things get heated. There were some insults. I don't like to see that, but I understand two grown men and respected elders in their positions and all of that. So without further ado, let's play some of this. And we're going to play their little quick debate. And we're going to respond to this and get to the bottom of it. I'm here to help. I want to say this before we get started. I am here to help the leaders of One West. Because Ron Dalton say all y'all are running. But 6-7 months ago, how long was that aside ago?
Probably about that.
About 6-7 months ago, this is me right here, me and Ron Dalton right here. We got it in. And I turned into a washer machine.
It turned into all you heard was boom, bop, boom, bam.
Bop, 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 bop. jailhouse fades. I turned into a washing machine. So we're going to take a look at how I made Ron Dalton actually say he doesn't agree with the Bible. So I'm going to give you guys some pointers on how to destroy this guy theologically, because again, we love him. We hope he makes it to the kingdom. We give y'all some pointers on how to destroy him theologically, so he ain't got to be saying the leaders of One West are running. And you might say, well, how is he a formidable opponent? You guys will debate, and I'm talking about the leaders in One West in general. You guys will debate Tom, Dick, and Harry until it feels like there's some potential threat. Let's not say this isn't a good body to catch. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you guys, IUIC, our brothers, you guys marched around the Barclays Center thousands deep for this man because Kyrie tweeted his book. So this is a good body to have under your belt, along with the many other bodies that we have accumulated under this belt. All praise to the Most High. So let's go to here, because now because of this brief interaction right here, which we'll get to, Ron Dalton is now on a campaign to, and we'll play some of IUIC's response as well. Ron is on a campaign to try to say, hey, these guys is running. So let's play some of this.
The truth. Like these guys, they don't know what you're talking about.
Real quick. You said we need to he need to debate Captain Tazariak. Let me just say this. Y'all know I love my captain, but Captain is the first one I called today, and Captain told me he don't want to debate him. Captain says he don't.
Whoa, hold on, Cap. Cap, is that Cap? Or did Cap just do that?
Right, would annihilate this dude. I believe it.
You think so?
I know it.
So Hassad is saying Captain will annihilate Ron Dalton. I got my money on Ron. What you want to bet, bro? You already got Canelo over.
I'm about to get a text from Captain Zarek and say, "I see. This is why I like you." And when I say FD,
nah, I'm playing. But the fact you already picked Canelo over Crawford shows me something about his side. You guys want him because I don't want him no more. No, I'm playing. But I'm joking though. I would love to see that debate between Cap Tazariak and Ron Dalton. I would love to see that. I can't honestly say who will win, and that's not a shot to either of them. I think that Tazariak could form better arguments. That's for sure. He could form better arguments. Tazariak's sharper. He is sharper, and Tazariak does have quick comebacks. So somebody said if you got Canelo over Crawford, you hate God. So let's play some more of this. Right?
Yeah, I know I love my he need to debate Captain Tazariak. Let me just say this. Yeah, I know I love my captain, but Captain is the first one I called today, and Captain told me he don't want to debate him. Captain says he said I don't want to debate Ron Dalton. Now I don't know what reasons Captain had for that. That's on him. Maybe we can bring him on the show.
I know the reason.
Go ahead.
Here, this is the thing. A long time ago, a lot of the camps were teaching that all Africans are Hamites. They were saying Africans are these African booty snatchers. They're all Hamites. You know, you're not gonna make it to the kingdom. You're not us.
They said African booty scratchers, bro.
Yeah,
he said booty snatchers.
Hey
yo, no.
You know, you can't marry our sons and daughters. Get out of here. You're not the same bloodline as us. We're the Israelites. You're dirty African Hamites. This is what the prophets, the priests, and the sons of God of these Israelite camps used to say. And they're saying that they're prophets. But now a lot of them, like IUIC, is going into Africa and going to Kenya and South Africa, and they're on the YouTube channel saying all Africans are Israelites.
Now, I don't know if IUIC teaches that, but I definitely don't agree that all Africa is Israelites. That's crazy as hell. I think it's the other. I think it's predominant. I believe and I can prove biblically as well that it's predominantly Ham over there. But there is a lot of us there as well, though. But he's saying that all the leaders of the One West are running from him, and then he goes on to. I'm just trying to give you guys the context before we get into the meat and potatoes. But then he goes to Vocab. He goes on Vocab show, and this is what he says here. He says, and this is from like 21 hours ago. He says, fair use too. Fair use is our thoughts and comments on this content.
I'm more trying to get your perspective on this. So he knows who you are. And regardless of if people like you or not, in the past, I didn't like you as much. Lately, we've been talking more. Maybe we can have a little friendship. You seem like a reasonable guy, and I appreciate that. But here's the thing. He knows who you are, and you do have a following. Whether someone likes you or not, you were talked about in all the newspapers and all the media. You can't deny you have a following, because I'm going to play the video in a second. He's going to act like you're nobody without a following, so he won't debate you. That's pure excuse. What would you want to debate him on, Ron?
It's a lot of things. Like I say to all the camp leaders, like Captain Tazariak, Elder Wakar, Guerrilla Hebrew, Bishop Nathanyel. I said, listen, guys, Esau, there's debate.
Now, notice he's not mentioning Deacon Hakai. And I'm not saying that because he's scared of me, but it is disingenuous, though. It's disingenuous of you because you're acting like the leaders of One West are running from you. I believe Captain Tazariak said he didn't want to debate because of the topic. I don't know if he wasn't familiar with the topic. Was, do you want to debate if the land of Israel is in sub-Saharan Africa or if it's in modern day Palestine? That was a debate. I guess Tazariak didn't think it was attractive enough or, interesting enough to garnish a lot of viewers. But I took that debate, though. So I do believe that he's being very, very disingenuous here, because how many months ago is this? 6 months ago, you did get mink.
You know what? I talked to Vocab.
Change my clothes. Yeah. So I'm a go ahead, Salaki. Go ahead.
Yeah, brother Ron Dalton, you're going on Vocab show, and you didn't think like, okay, so now Vocab, don't take no offense to this. We had a conversation not so long ago. We're cool, all right? We're cool. But this looks literally like, remember in Django at Candyland when they had the slaves fight? This is what it looks like. Yo, come on. Sorry, I'm scared of you. Yeah. Say, yeah. We got a big following, right? Let's have these two. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looks like.
Nah. It's giving. But we'll play some of this. How I forced Ron Dalton to say he disagreed with the Bible and a whole bunch of crazy other stuff. He was getting confounded. We're going to play some of that. And so I really, truly believe it's so disingenuous of him to act like, every One West leader is running from him. Now, he could say running from on who the Edomites are. And that's not a hard debate either, because he's saying who the Edomites are, who Japheth is. That's not a hard debate either. Like I told you, One West leaders. I'll give y'all some pointers so you don't have to run from him. Anyway, so let's go to the actual little skirmish that they had. This was good. It was good. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be unbiased. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be unbiased. All right. Go ahead.
If there's anybody that knows what camera is IUIC using, bro, they're in 100K.
You can see the face on his teacup.
Bro, no, you can't. What camera is that? What camera will make me look like that? You know what I'm saying? I need that camera. But all praises to the Most High. They finally look. Ron he's excited.
When you've been
like Kendrick versus Drake.
You've been chasing somebody.
High yellow niggas been taking an L, for the past year. And no, I am not one of them.
They not like that. Okay, so let's play this, y'all. Let's play this and let's see how this little quick debate went. And after this, he was like, bro, let's set it up. Let's set it up. So let's see.
Ron, welcome.
Ron, welcome.
Welcome.
How are you, Ron?
Ron.
Good. I'm good. I'm good.
You're not sounding great there. But anyway, give us your thoughts. Give us what you have.
So for the first part,
Ron, you're in.
there's a
Go
major
ahead.
delay. There's a major delay. So let's fast forward it. There's a major delay.
The next one.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah. So the bishop that's been hard tracking you down. I got a question.
So he says, Bishop, it's been hard tracking you down. Now, I don't know if he's emailed, tweeted, tagged on Instagram or anything, but he said he's been trying to track the bishop down.
Okay, I got
Yes,
a
sir.
question.
It's
If
still a delay.
IUIC teaches that the white man is Esau, then according to, can you hear me?
But go ahead.
Okay. So here's the question. If the white, I'm here. There's a lag. I don't know why.
Go.
Okay, here we go.
I have to pause it. Can you hear me now?
Here we go.
We can hear you. Can you hear him, Bishop?
Can you hear
Yes.
No.
Bishop?
Okay. Here's the question.
Bishop.
IUIC teaches that the white man is Esau. So that means that any white race of people are the Edomites. And we know that they believe that the Asians or the Chinese are.
Now I want you guys to really listen to this.
What, has he got a script written under his eyelids? Why does he keep doing that?
No, he has a condition with his face. So the Bible tells us if one of our brothers has a handicap, do not mock his handicap. So he does have a condition.
So my bad.
With his face. I just letting the audience know as well to not mock his condition. That's why you see him doing those twitches with his face. That is against the scriptures to mock our handicapped brothers. So I want you guys to listen though too, because we do have master teachers in this community. But do not think that just because you have a master teacher that they're master debaters. There's a difference. Master teachers, of course, we got a lot of those in the community, but master debaters, that's a different. That's it. You gotta be one of them ones. So I want you guys to listen what he says. That's the first tool, essential to debating. Watch his question.
I believe Ammon and Moab. Is that correct, Bishop?
Yep.
Okay. So if the white race are the Edomites, and you said on Donato's channel that all Africans are Israelites except for the Nilots, we know that the 12 tribes chart tells us that all Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans and Negroes are Israelites. And the white man is an Edomite. So basically the whole North America, Central America, South America, they are all the descendants of Abraham. When talking about the white man, if the white man is Esau and the Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Negroes. And
so the bishop said no, but that is, if you take that stance, then that is true. That the Latino tribes are Israelites, that we're Israelites, and that the white man is an Edomite, then that means predominantly everybody over here are descendants of Abraham. That you would have to say yes. But he's trying to walk the bishop down for a reason. He's trying to walk the bishop down to now I'm just speculating here because I do know he studies DNA. He's an avid researcher and subscriber to the DNA science. So he's going to try to attack Bishop from that angle to possibly say, well, if they all come from Abraham, then they should all share some DNA similarities. Let's keep going.
the Americas are the Israelites.
No.
then they are all the descendants of Abraham, correct?
No.
How so?
You're trying to say that everybody in North, Central, and South America is an Israelite. That's wrong. Because anyone that whose
No,
father,
that's not what
Hold on,
I
Ron.
asked you.
Hold on, Ron. Allow Bishop Nathanyel to respond.
anybody whose father is Caucasian, like many of the Latinos are mixed with black, white, and indigenous. So anyone who comes from Esau, so-called Caucasians, those are not Israelites, whose fathers are Edomites. The native indigenous people and the blacks, those are Israelites. So if your father comes from that, then you are an Israelite. And this is why Christ said, let the wheat and the tares grow together. And at the end, let the angels separate them one from another. Because we can't go so much off of looks. We go so much off the spirit. And at the end, the angels are going to deal with it. Whoever's not Israel, the angels are going to separate them. Whoever is Israel, the angels will gather them in.
Okay, I don't think you understood what I'm saying. The Caucasians in the Americas, the Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, and the Negroes, they are all the descendants of Abraham. If you're saying that the white men are the Edomites and the Negroes, Hispanics, Latin Americans, and Native American Indians are Israelites, then yes, all these groups of people I just mentioned would be considered the descendants of Abraham, and thus technically they are Hebrews.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm listening. Go with your. What is your question? What is your question?
So now that we established that, even though you didn't answer the question, who are the descendants of Gomer, Magog, Meshach, Tubal, Togarmah, that are listed in Ezekiel 38 prophecy, which states in the future, in the latter days, that these nations, along with the descendants of Persia and Cush and Put, are going to leave their land, and they're going to come to the land of unwalled villages, a land where people are dwelling without bars nor gates, dwelling in peace, rest, and safety. And it says in the future Ezekiel 38 prophecy that these Japhetic nations are going to have an evil thought, an evil scheme, an evil plan, an evil agenda against who? The Israelites and the land, because it says in Ezekiel 38 that they are going to come with the intent to steal, to plunder, to loot, and to prey upon the people, meaning the Israelites, their land, and all that is within it. Like so
I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna try not to interject as much, but I talked to him, I debated him on this. Well, this came up in our debate. As you guys can see here. I'll come back in a second. This came up in our debate because the debate was, where's the true land of Israel, sub-Saharan Africa, or where we believe it to be at now in the so-called Middle East? And he said that he went to Ezekiel 38. He said that these nations are supposed to, surround and siege, the Holy Land, according to Ezekiel 38. So who are these people? He believes that they are the Caucasians, that the Japhites are the Caucasians, Gog, Magog, all of that, Tubal, Juvan, Meshach. And so I was able to address some of this in the debate that I had with him about 6 months ago. He believes that that's his prima facie, meaning no Israelite can, combat Ezekiel 38 and that prophecy and how it pertains to the Caucasian man being either Japheth or Edom. So that's his like ace in the hole that he always goes to. Now, it's easily refutable, but I don't want to give too much. Just in case. Like I said, I don't like to do back-to-back debates with individuals. It just makes you seem kind of thirsty. But I will give a little bit. Possibly I could watch him again like I did. Ron Dalton, what happened. You know how you was in the chat, looking in the chat, worried about what was going on in the chat while we were debating. You should have been focused on the debate, and you would have never said that you don't believe in the Bible in certain places that you were getting got on. So I am going to give a little bit of information on how I would respond to his question here, but I just wanted to make sure you guys fully understand how he's trying to walk the bishop down here. And I didn't watch the whole thing keenly, so I still want to see the bishop's response as well.
Silver, gold, livestock. Obviously, arable land is something that is a raw material. You can use that to farm. So shouldn't we or you teach who are the descendants today of Jacob's sons, Gomer, Magog, Meshach, Tubal, and the son of Gomer, Togomoth? Who are they today, Bishop?
Okay,
Mm.
Ron,
Hey,
let's
those are
allow Bishop Nathanyel to answer now.
No, that's a good question, and all you upcoming Hebrew scholars, you guys should really ponder on how you would answer this question.
We'll keep you in the back end, and we'll allow other people to come in. Bishop, did you get the question?
Yep, I got it. It has nothing to do with the topic. Like I knew he would come up with some confusion. But anyway, give me Revelation 20:7. It has nothing to do with Kenya.
Keep it
It has nothing to
respectful.
do
Let's
with
keep it
France.
respectful, Bishop Nathanyel. Let's keep it respectful. Works both ways.
Revelation 20:7.
The book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired,
So this is after the kingdom, 1,000 years after the kingdom is set up.
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison
Satan shall be loosed out of his kingdom.
and shall go
Out of his what?
out of his prison
Out of his prison. Excuse me. Go ahead.
and shall go out to deceive the nations
Mhm.
which are in the four quarters of the earth,
Right.
Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Right. So now let's find out who that is. Give me Isaiah 24. So this Satan that it's talking about, it's not just a spiritual Satan. It's talking about the white man. Okay. Isaiah 24 and 22, it says the same thing.
Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
So these prisoners gathered in the pit are the same ones in Revelation 20 and 7. Satan and his minions, which goes with Esau and his allies. Go ahead.
And shall be shut up in the prison.
And they're going to be shut up in the prison. Where's this at? The Caucasus Mountains. Scythia, that whole region up there. Go ahead.
And after many days shall they be visited.
When it says
Holy-
after many days they shall be visited, they shall be loosed. So these Europeans, even those Europeans that are mixed race with other races, with Japhet, that's what it's going into. Okay. And I said, I don't see what it has to do with what we're talking about.
I didn't answer.
We gotta
call a spade a spade.
we gotta call a spade a spade.
Ron, my last show. I was getting on you, but Bishop Nathanyel, not only did he not answer your question, but the answer that he gave was incorrect. First off, and this isn't disrespectful, it just is what it is. First, I want to start somewhere. In the days of these kings shall the Most High set up a kingdom. That's Daniel 2.
Go ahead, share your screen.
He said Revelation 20 and 7 takes place after the kingdom. Well, the issue with that is in Daniel 2, it says in verse 44, at the end of the toes, the feet and the toes, which is the Roman Empire, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So when the Messiah sets up his kingdom, I think Daniel 7 and 18 also tells you that the saints of the Most High shall take and possess the kingdom forever, even forever. There's not going to be any foreign nations that are going to try to rise up against us in that time. It tells you in Isaiah chapter 2 that nation will not lift up sword against nation, that there's going to be peace on earth. So that was incorrect. Then he went to Isaiah 24.
Yeah, end time prophecy. That's crazy. That's eschatology.
And said, go
ahead.
Let's just read it contextually. This is not after, because he's saying that this takes place at the same time Revelation 20 and 7 takes place, 1,000 years after the kingdom's established. Here's the problem with that. Look at this, Isaiah 24, and let's start at verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. What is this talking about? This is end times. This is not 1,000 years after the kingdom. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. This isn't just limited to Edomites. This is everybody, all the top reigning people of the earth, of the heathen. It says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. That's not saying that they are going to hide in the Caucasus Mountains, Bishop Nathanyel.
Damn.
He's saying that we are going to, like it says in Psalm 149, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. This honor have all the saints. That's what we're going to do to the kings of the earth. It says, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days they shall be visited. And this also tells you when it's talking, when this is going to happen. Look, then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem. That's when this takes place. Not 1,000 years after the kingdom of God is set up. So no love lost at all. That's still my elder in this truth. Most of our elders. But that was incorrect. And he didn't answer Ron's question.
Yeah, the question is who the hell are the Japhites today? I have 3 solid answers with history, archaeology, and prophecy, but we still haven't finished. So let's keep going. Maybe he'll answer it.
But that's the answer.
Okay,
Even
Ron.
the mixed
He didn't give an answer. He just said Europeans, Caucasians, white people. According to their
And mixed
teachings, they are all Edomites.
Okay, your parting shot, Ron.
Okay, Europeans and Caucasians are Edomites, correct?
Yep.
So how did you explain to us who are the descendants today of Japheth's sons, Gomer, Magog, Meshach, Tubal?
I would never say Caucasians or Europeans. Europeans a continent, just like Europe's a continent, just like Asia's a continent, just like Africa's a continent. So there's different ethnicities dwelling on those continents. And also the original Europeans were not Caucasians. So you got to be careful when people say, are Europeans Caucasians? You could say so-called Europeans, because the actual Europeans or the original Japhites were actually people of color and not Caucasian. So yeah, you even got to be careful how you answer that.
And Togarmah, you did not explain that.
A lot of those, yes, I can explain it.
Okay.
If you get history books, it shows that those are many of the Polynesians, the Hawaiians, many of them of Thailand, a lot of them, that's them. Because when you look at the archaeology, they are brown skin.
Hold on.
Why
Hold
you
on. Bishop, hold
Why
on.
you
Ron,
interrupting?
Ron, hold on, Bishop, hold on. Ron, I want you to say your parting shot, and then we'll take you out, and then we'll allow other people to come in. I don't want it to be a debate now. It's maybe something we can set up, but your parting shot, and then we'll allow Bishop Nathanyel, and then we'll take you out. We'll allow Bishop Nathanyel to respond. Go ahead.
So again, you have Ivan Van Sertima. When you look at his books, it shows you he has many ancient archaeology of Gomer, many of them, and you can see that they're brown complexion with wavy hair. These are many of your Polynesians, some of them, Hawaiians, some of them, not all of them, but some of them. That is Japheth's sons. That's
now that, although that's true, you know, we could have gave a more extensive, detailed answer and also gave more proof, because doing that would have backed Ron all the way up. Now, Ron is wrong on who he believes Japheth to be. Well, I can't say that he's saying, I don't even know his position, but from what he's presenting, he has to be saying that Japheth is Caucasian.
Yeah, I think he's saying that people, because Ezekiel 38, when it talks about the Gog, the land of Magog, he's saying that that's Russia, and it's identifying the Russians with Gog and Magog. Well, what Ezekiel 38 is talking about, and that's why in the beginning it tells you the lands of Magog. So it's not talking about the actual descendants of Gog and Magog, but rather the people who occupy that land when that prophecy takes place. Furthermore, for more evidence concerning, who are the descendants of those various Japhetic nations, Gomer, etc., when you read Daniel 9:1, it says, in the first year of Darius, the son of Artaxerxes, of the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. So it says Darius is of the seed of the Medes. Mede goes back to Madai. Madai is one of the descendants of Japheth. Why do I bring this out? Can I share my screen real quick?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Darius the Mede, this is him in archaeology. That is clearly not a Caucasian person. Like Bishop Nathanyel said, he has wavy, curly, coarse hair. Here's another one of him. That is clearly not a Caucasian person. So just giving more credit to Elder Bishop Nathanyel that's not talking about white people in concerning Japheth.
People of color.
Not necessarily like us, because most people, we got to remember, everybody is a person of color on the earth except for Caucasians, right? Even when you go into Japan and in China, sometimes they'll bleach their skin, but they can range from light to dark brown. Most peoples of the earth range from light to dark brown.
Step.
Okay, Ron, thank you very much.
So the problem, this is the last thing I want to say. Bishop Nathanyel and IUIC, they did videos in the Pacific Islands, like Papua New Guinea and Fiji and other islands, saying that you guys are the Israelites. So how can these black people that you guys are going into these islands claiming you're teaching them that they're the Israelites? How can they be the descendants of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Meshach, and Tubal, when I just seen the video the other day, you were in Papua New Guinea teaching that these black Pacific Islanders are the Israelites. So
That's
what
right.
is it, Bishop?
Okay,
Let's
explain it.
Okay,
Let's
Ron.
go to Isaiah 11:11. Let me explain it.
Ron.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Ron,
Brothers are ready to get going. I see y'all in the chat. Y'all are going in the chat. That's right. Etruscans, Minoans, pottery don't lie. Pottery is a primary source to the time period. Pottery don't lie. Artifacts don't lie. Archaeology does not lie. Etruscans, Minoans, the Jacinius Hebrew Chaldee lexicon say that Japheth occupies the Indian archipelago. So there's so much. And like I said, if we take this debate, like it's gonna be fun. This isn't a debate where I would feel like I would have pressure. When I debate Ron Dalton, I don't feel like there's pressure. It's actually fun. In my debate with Ron Dalton, I actually switched clothes. I was feeling so good. I had an all green outfit on, and then when it was time to do the cross examination, I threw the red Genesis on. I was having fun. It ain't no pressure, right? Let's keep going.
Taking you out now. We need to finish this one off. We'll make some time for a debate. Okay.
Yeah, let's debate.
wants to
Let's
explain.
debate.
No.
Bishop.
If you ain't
Ron,
got, if you ain't got
hold on.
scriptures, there's no debate. I got
Don't
scriptures.
run,
You don't
Bishop.
have
Do not run. I'm here.
Bishop, no.
I'm ready.
Ron, I'm the
I'm
one
right
running.
here.
Bishop, can I
Von's
mediate?
looking for an audience because he ain't got one.
He's not ready. He's not
No,
ready.
hold on.
He's not ready.
Run. Bishop Nathanyel, I don't want it to be a sparring debate.
Hey,
I don't want it to be a sparring debate.
Like I
Bishop
told you what
Nathanyel?
Negroes do.
No,
Like
Bishop
I said, what
Nathanyel.
Negroes do. Von
Bishop
is an
Nathanyel.
excellent
Bishop
example
Nathanyel.
of a crab
No.
in a
Bishop,
barrel.
Bishop,
Excellent example.
Bishop, let's keep it respectful, please. Let's not call each other
Yeah.
Negroes.
Now, look, Bishop Nathanyel called him a crab in the barrel. Like, I wouldn't go that far to say he's a crab in the barrel. He believes that we're teaching false doctrine. And so I believe that we need to defend the gospel. But you could say, one could argue, well, we defend the gospel by just putting out the information. We don't have to debate. And that is true. You know, you don't have to. But it's just better, at least in my opinion. When your leader, who you say this is the leader, he's the top person on the planet, he'll smash anybody, not just putting out teachings, but really go smash a nigga. So I just say it looks better that way.
I think the issue is with this, and this is what we have to change in this community, family. And that's myself, that's Priest, that's all of y'all.
I don't run from it, I run to it. And
Yeah.
Hassad does too.
But I'm saying it doesn't have to be like, okay, if Bishop is going to debate Ron Dalton on who the Edomites are, and they'll say they have a debate, I'm going to be rooting for Bishop Nathanyel. That doesn't mean that I hate Ron Dalton. That doesn't mean it's F Ron Dalton. That doesn't mean if I see him as smoke. That's the problem within this community. I feel that's one of several problems. But you can support somebody and still love that person. You can still be brotherly to that person. You can still go out to eat, go grab a drink with that person.
Yeah, no.
So I feel like that's these brothers having some words back. We were crab in a barrel. It doesn't need to be anything other than, hey, brother, I disagree with you. You disagree with me. Let's see whatever the truth is. And then whatever the truth is, that's what we should align ourselves with.
Mhm.
Period, point blank.
Right.
If I get annihilated in a debate and I get proven that I'm wrong, you know what? I'm wrong. Now I got to go with what the truth is. That's period. We got to remember, who are you? Are you supporting a person or are you supporting the truth? Which one?
Yeah, well, I get you guys' comments. The bishop made it clear he just teaches, he doesn't debate. IUIC says they don't debate. Okay, I get that. I get that, and I respect that. But all I'm saying is that how can we say that what I'm saying is correct if I'm not willing to put it to the test? That's what I'm saying. I say that with my contemporaries, the leaders who are my age, of leaders of camps. I say, well, how y'all smashing shit, really like pressing the line, but you won't debate it. So I keep those sentiments from the elders to the younger leaders.
Yeah, I don't know about that though, because I've seen IUIC debate publicly. I've seen it multiple times. They even do it on Clubhouse in the, that's not necessarily a formal script debate, but it's a spontaneous debate nonetheless. So
you got a point. You got a point, Hassad.
I don't agree with it. I'm not going to say you guys are scared, but I will say they're very selective in whom they debate. I will say that, and that's just is what it is.
Precept upon precept says Ron got smashed by a captain on IUIC. Well, I haven't seen that, and so I would like to see it though. I'm always up to watch some debates, some good old debates. But if it's on Clubhouse, that's very informal. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. I get what you're saying. You're saying if the captain destroyed you, and if it actually happened, because you listen, I know Israelites that say an Israelite won a debate when the Christian clearly absolutely annihilated the Israelite, because the Israelite community is a cult. I know guys who have got destroyed by Christians, some of the main leaders. I ain't gonna say no names, but it's not IUIC, I will say that. But and Israelites will still say the nigga won a debate. So that is subjective on who actually got smashed. That dude's fruit, show y'all fruit and don't compare.
What are you talking about?
Look at this dude right here. Look at this Lenny Kravitz, Chico DeBarge, Chico DeBarge, Lenny Kravitz looking at.
No, I listen, Fernellis, what nationality are you? I guarantee you I know who the culprit is. I guarantee it. What nationality are you, Fernellis? I know it. I know who you are.
Okay, let's play some more of this.
Ron, I'm going to take you out now. We'll allow Bishop Nathanyel to answer. I don't want it to be a debate for now. We were just catching up on what's happening with IUIC. We will set up something if we agree on each side. Now I'm feeling like Don King trying to put together a fight here. And I do not want it to get to that because we are here to uplift the nation, right? We are here to uplift the nation. Go ahead, Bishop.
Hey, I would have sat down with Ron, but the way he's coming, I don't like the spirit. So now I'm saying I won't sit down with him. No. But I am going to answer his question in Isaiah 11 and 11.
So that's good. He said he would have did it, but I guess Ron should have came nicer. I don't know. I think Ron was not being rude, but maybe the bishop took, his approach as rude. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not. It sounds like he found. Never mind.
So
you're supposed to bow down?
Yeah, bow down, please. I was gonna say something. Oh, Ron is like I said earlier. Ron Dalton is a good body to catch. Only what Kyrie Irving tweeted his book in his movie or whatever. That's a good body to have under your belt. Don't you want more views on your organization, which reflects the truth? So you gotta have these bodies under your belt, man. That's all I'm saying.
What is the who did what's the name? Michael Brown. This is the difference, everybody. This is what's so unfortunate, right? There's a debate between Michael Brown and Dr. James White. Dr. Michael Brown and Dr. James White. This is one of the most respectful debates I've ever seen in my entire life. These two are friends, but they were still able to have a debate. They crack jokes during the debate. They're laughing. The crowd is laughing, and they all recognize it's all love. Why can't we do that, man?
Mm-hmm. No. Ron texted me. Like I told y'all, we're going to play some of that video where I made him deny the Bible during our debate. But Ron texted me during all of this, and he was like, Bishop Nathanyel was running from me. I was like, from what topic? And he sent me the video, but I just been so busy that I didn't know all of this. I didn't even know they got a chance to kind of talk to each other. So I'm late on all of this. But yeah, I'm still, after me completely annihilating him, they had to put him on suicide watch for 24 hours. We can still pick up the phone and talk to each other, me and Ron. So let's keep going, y'all.
And I don't have an issue with Bishop Nathanyel not debating Ron. You know, he's an elder. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate. He's got the biggest Hebrew Israelite congregation on the planet that he's got to be, you know, the bishop over. Who knows what's going on in his personal life, you know. But I don't think it's wrong for a captain or one of the people who IUIC would nominate to be a good debater to go debate him. I don't see an issue with that. If they don't want to, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're afraid or scared. Doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that, but I don't see why not either.
Read that.
Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second.
Yeah, we'll take the fade for, you know what? That's how we do, because we're going to get, all we're doing is just reacting to something public, and IUIC is going to come and say, oh, you guys are hating on.
Yeah, you know what we'll do, Bishop Nathanyel? We'll take the fade for you, and then we'll fade IUIC afterwards.
make me turn around. Nah, we'll take the fade for y'all, man. Damn it. All right, that's how we're going to merge the camps together. Let's keep going.
Time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria.
That's the areas Turkey. Go ahead.
And from Egypt. And from Pathros.
Sudan.
And from Cush.
Ethiopia.
And from Elam.
East India, Iran.
And from Shinar.
Iraq.
And from Hamath.
Syria.
And from the islands of the sea.
In the various islands of the sea, they are Israelites there. Is everybody an Israelite? No. Is everybody?
Okay, let me answer this last comment for a second. He said, what does IUIC gain by winning a debate with Ron Dalton? You get more eyes on the truth. You gain souls, and you also stop somebody from misleading the little ones into false doctrine. There's a lot that comes with winning a debate, sir. Let's keep going.
In the Polynesian islands of Israel? No. Is everybody in Papua New Guinea an Israelite? No. So that's why in John 10, give me that real quick, what Christ said, my sheep. This is why when you listen to us teaching, you got to listen carefully. John 10, let me hear verse 1.
John chapter 10 and verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
Jump down to where it says, my sheep hear my voice, and strangers they will not follow. Find me that one in there.
Verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
So when we go, like in America, we'll say, you black people are Israelites. Are all black people in America Israelites? No, because some of them got Chinese fathers, some of them got white fathers. We know that. So in Papua New Guinea, Polynesian Islands, when we say you guys are Israelites, are they all Israelites? No. Some of them have Chinese fathers, some of them got Japhetic fathers. So guess who's going to come? Read it one more time. These are the ones that's going to repent. Read.
My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
And we stand on what Christ said. We don't stand on what any Negro says. We're always going to stand on what Christ, the Black Messiah, says. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, Ron, we're taking you out. Thank you for joining us. We will try to get you to talk to
I didn't
Bishop
like his
Nathanyel.
spirit. If he
No,
came
that's fine.
humble and speak right, I would have did all right. But
No, it's fine.
he's coming back.
Okay,
He's
no,
coming
it's
black.
fine. Bishop, we'll settle it out on the side. Don King will make Mayweather and Pacquiao Part 2 happen again. And we'll debate this calm spirit of the Lord. Right, Ron?
Yeah, I'm ready to debate when you are. I'm not running.
Okay, but we
I
need to
don't
keep it to
debate.
the topic. Okay,
I
so
teach.
How come nobody told me before?
What
My
the-
family, my neighbors.
What the heck? Oh my goodness.
I don't think he's
we'll
saying
stick
that
to
he
the
won't
topic.
debate him.
You bring your thoughts on whatever topic we have. Bishop Nathanyel, if he agrees, he will bring his own thoughts. We'll take it back to the scriptures, Ron. As I always say, give us references. As I always say, give us references.
I got it
Yeah.
all day
Okay.
long.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming through. Guys, I think we're about to wrap it up now.
Wait.
Bishop-
I will say this.
Okay.
When I debate someone, I want to see that they've accomplished something. I want to see that you have a
No
substantial
excuses.
following.
No
Let me
excuses.
finish.
Stop running.
Be quiet.
Stop
Be
running.
quiet. Let's be quiet and listen. Teach. So when you teach something, you stand on what you're teaching, right? And that means you have followers, you've established something, and people, you have congregations. So I want to see that. Like John Henry Clark says, everybody else I teach. Other than that, you just listen.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that anybody who debates him has to have congregations and all of that? If that's the criteria, then it is what it is.
I mean, he's popping his. Listen, little nigga, who you think you're gonna debate? That's what he said.
And popping his corn, he's popping his corn and putting extra butter on it.
That's our standpoint of IUIC. If you don't believe Ron, bye. Just do your thing, my man, my brother. Do your thing.
Listen, I want all the smoke from you. I want it all. So bring it, and I can handle you easily. I can handle you easily.
Okay.
No,
you don't have the truth.
Okay.
If you have the truth, stop being scared and debate me.
Okay, Ron, hold on.
If
Hold
you
on.
guys
Hold
have
on.
the truth,
Hold on.
debate
Hold
me.
on. Hold on.
We get
We're
a
trying
lot
to
of
teach.
bum Israelites that want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to bum Israelites. I don't.
Okay. Ron?
That's so. But you're saying if he would have came more respectful, the first thing that Bishop Nathanyel just said, he said, what did he say, you guys? He said, people that you haven't basically you haven't accomplished nothing. Imagine telling a nigga that you haven't accomplished nothing. Then there's a lot of bum Israel. So he's all Ron is saying, I want smoke. I'm not scared. I'm ready when you are. That's it. That's not disrespectful. Bishop Nathanyel says, there's a lot of bum ass niggas that try to debate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, golly.
You know, there's some cult members that don't believe that. You know,
he is a bum. Bishop Nathanyel said he's a bum. He's a bum.
That's we can't have respect to persons, bro. I mean, if you say if somebody presses you on a debate, then you get to call him out his name and insult him. Then stand on that. Hey, he pressed me for a debate, you know, while I was in the interview. So guess what? That justifies me dogging this nigga. And that's how you feel. It is what it is.
That can also happen too. Someone said that IUIC sat down with I think he's a doctor, Rudolph R. Winter. That's the author of Babylon to Timbuktu. If they would like to say, hey, you know what? Let's have a private discussion. That's fine. Shout out to the brother Joel from Sons of Thunder. I've had several conversations on the phone, in person, that people don't know about, just chopping it up about doctrine. So that's also something that can happen.
Yeah, with Ratazan from BOW too.
Yep.
Get this council going. Get this mighty young leaders council going.
See you. We'll talk on the side. It's cool. Cheers. Bye.
Like I said, You got a lot of Israelites who have nothing. They've accomplished very little, but they want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to anybody. My job is just to teach, to preach, and keep it moving. If you believe, come on. If you don't,
So maybe he should have said, maybe Ron should have said, let me debate one of your captains or one of your deacons. Then maybe they could have set that up.
Ron, pull up to IUIC. Pull up
Go
to
ahead.
you know what you should do, Ron? I'll be honest. You should pull up to God, you know what? I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it, Deacon. Pull up to the newest IUIC member who just got on the mic. Destroy him to where IUIC is gonna say, you know what, we got to debate.
We got to get our lick back. We have to get our lick back.
I'm joking.
it rolled by. That has always been my standpoint. Christ didn't sit around and debate with the scribes and Pharisees. They questioned him, he answered, and he kept it moving. That's what I do. So you want to smoke, get to smoke somewhere else, because I don't want to talk to black people like that. I have some other words, but I ain't gonna say it.
Man, listen. When I say our elders are niggas, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Come on, let's not be too religious here. When I say our elders are some niggas, and I consider him our elders, he's One West. We got some grimy elders that, you know, we're teaching the Bible, but we got some grimy elders. Them niggas, I don't want to talk to black people. Like
I ain't gonna lie. Listen, Ron, this debate hasn't taken place. You're down already. You're losing.
Oh man, shout out Bishop. So I think it keeps going though. I think it keeps going. It's like dude forgot to take Ron off, so you keep hearing Ron in the background.
Don't say it. There was another Sister Bree. I see you were trying to come in, and then we're not seeing you anymore. Just come in, respectfully so. Say whatever you need to.
Okay, no, this right here though too. This is one of the captains responding. I forget the brother's name. He's all over TikTok. Tall brother with the braids. Somebody can put his name in the chat.
So this guy here, this guy right here.
Oh my God.
Ain't debating no crabs in a barrel looking like this. Stop it.
Oh my
So this right here
God.
is this guy, Ron
Bro.
Donald Jr. or Ron Dalton.
Again, like you can't. That's not funny, man. Like
I don't.
bro has a condition, man.
I don't. Yeah.
Like you gotta be cool. He just froze his face like that. That's cool. This is Captain Gedalia. Okay. Yo, these guys crazy for this, bro. Okay, so what does he say?
Ron Dalton, yeah, he's the brother that did Hebrews and Negroes. Now, when he did his book, Bishop shouted him out years ago.
Okay.
You know, Bishop didn't have nothing against his brother years ago. But he just came into the chat or came on live while Bishop is doing an interview that's solely talking about IUIC debate about doctrine. Right? We'll show you this brother has no decorum, right? No respect.
Hey, that's a fair point though, Hassad. That's a fair point because they were talking about what happened in Kenya, and he came and invaded to try to like get a debate about doctrine. So is that a fair point? I say that's a fair point.
I think it's fair.
Like imagine me going to jail for teaching the Bible. I open up the phone lines, brothers like, hey, man, y'all okay? Y'all need assistance? Did they pass some type of crazy law? How was your experience? And then a nigga calls like, hey, nigga, I need to debate you. That is some cloud. That's some cloud chasing shit. That's a fair point. Gotta be honest here. That's a fair point. Ron Dalton wants to smoke, but he did come in a malicious type of way. Let's just be real. But at that point, I would have been so mad, like, nigga, let's set it up, bro. I'm about to knock your, theologically, no physical violence.
Go to the next one. So this is what he is. For that, this guy's a clown. That's exactly what he's, a clown. Keep that on the screen. He is a clown for doing what he just did. Now, go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 16. So the issue is this, brothers and sisters. When you weren't raised under leaders that taught you how to handle yourself, you do stuff like this. It's like a whole bunch of, the Israelite community is like a bunch of children. And Christ talked about that in Luke chapter 7, verse 31. Before you get that 2 Corinthians 10, get Luke 7:31 real quick. Christ talked about the Israelite community. It's the same thing with Lil Bow Wow, that little camp. Many of the other camps that I want to debate IUIC. I got $1,000 $1,000.
Oh man,
Devon.
is that a shot at BOW?
Yep, it sure is.
Yo, they shooting that. Hey, the brother came out. Hey, we might get. I haven't watched this, but maybe we might get shot out in this. Hey, listen, bro. I don't care, nigga. I got helmet, bulletproof vest. You know what I mean? I got thigh protection. You know, iron clad. Nah, I'm playing, but damn, he took a shot at my main man Ratazan from BOW, called him little Bow Wow. That's my brother. Put some respect on his name, King. Come on.
Gonna do. We got thousands upon thousands of members. $1,000 ain't gonna do nothing to help us.
Oh,
you understand? We trying to buy land. We trying to build school. We got a lot of stuff.
That's a shot at Sakari, clearly. Because Sakari tried to challenge them $1,000 to debate the new covenant.
I forgot I was in Sakari just now.
We got down,
I was like,
you know, that we got down the road, Lord's will. We trying to do $1,000 to debate you on camera. You gonna make more money off the live stream views than $1,000 that you putting up. What's wrong with these guys? Then 5 months later, you know, you get caught in some evil. Y'all be worried about the wrong stuff. Get your house in order, man. Stop worrying about debating IUIC. Get your house in order.
Stop being a damn fool.
That was clearly a shot at them guys.
Let's keep going.
How did it speed up like that though? Okay.
Luke chapter 7 and verse 31.
Watch this.
And the Lord said,
go ahead.
Whereunto shall I liken the men of this generation?
So the men he's talking about is the Israelite community, the scribes, the Pharisees, the Sadducees. He's talking about them, right? Go ahead.
And to what are they like?
And to what is the Israelite community like?
They got a clown.
They are like unto children.
The Israelite community is like children. Many brothers that claim to be Israelites are like children. They want to jock for position. They want to be able to have all the toys in the sandbox.
Right.
They want to be the one that all the women like. They want to be the one to get all the views. They're making all the money. That's got the deepest breakdowns. They're not thinking about gathering the nation of Israel like this clown right here. They're not thinking about gathering the nation of Israel. This Negro want fame. That's all it is. Why else would you come into a platform where another man is talking about his organization? You come and say, yeah, I want to smoke. I want to debate. Ain't nobody got time to debate you. I'm glad Bishop dismissed this dude.
Right.
Bishop dismissed him. Like, look, I don't want to talk to you. What have you done? You making money, you doing this, you doing that. What have you done? Not a damn thing. But
I wouldn't listen. Like I said, I'm keeping it fair. Ron Dalton by himself has done a lot. I'm not saying he's done more than IUIC, but he's done a lot. He had you guys marching right here. You guys went out and did this because Kyrie tweeted his book.
There was a group of about 100 people outside wearing the shirt of a group called Israel United in Christ, a group labeled as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. They were outside in support of you and handing out anti-Semitic literature on the plaza, people walking by.
Because you said I have an army behind me.
Yes. What happened to you? Where'd they go?
Hey, look, y'all, we about to.
So look, I mean, y'all went and did that march predicated off of celebrity athletes tweeting Ron Dalton's work. Like, give him a little credit. I'm not saying he's done close to y'all. I'm not saying that, but let's not just act like he's a nobody.
Yeah, I agree with about 73% of what he said.
that's the Israelite community. Go ahead.
They are like unto children.
They are like unto children.
Sitting in the marketplace.
Read.
And calling one to another.
Watch
and
this.
saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
I challenged you to debate, and you won't answer me. Go ahead.
We have mourned to you, and ye have not wept.
Right. We got stuff going on, and
it's do we even have to?
No.
Do you hear his breakdown on this?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's just let it play.
we need y'all help. We want to link up with y'all. No, you don't want to link up with us. You want to debate us. Y'all brothers come against us like we your enemies, and we not, because y'all not focused. You're not focused on the movement. You're not focused on building the nation. You're focused on debates and views and money and wealth because you love America. None of you are moving out of America to go live. None of you. You want to sit right here.
Ron Dalton actually lives in Africa. He lives in Africa. Like, if you're going to rebuke the brother, like, you got to have your facts straight.
You live in America, nigga. He's talking all. None of you brothers are leaving. Nigga, you live in America. We live in America. What are you talking about, bro? That's not a good talking point.
Driving nice cars. Sit in your house doing a podcast. That's what you want to do. You ain't about going to the streets to build the people up. You just running your mouth. That's it. Now give me that. Build on another.
This is a podcast. Like, you had a couple of good points, but bro, you are in America running your mouth on a podcast. And I don't know what type of car you have, but you could potentially have a nice car. What's wrong with having a nice car? So we should all go to what? Democratic Republic of the Congo, drive a hoopty, and now we'll have some. Like, come on, bro.
What are the cars that they? What is the common? You know how over here the common car is like a Kia, a Nissan, a Honda, a Toyota. What are some of the common cars over there in South Africa and West?
A mule with a satchel.
The Man Foundation. 2 Corinthians 10:16. Watch this.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
To preach the gospel in the regions beyond you.
Right. The Bible said we're supposed to be preaching the gospel in the regions beyond us, meaning you can't sit in your same city, in your same house. You got to go out and do the work.
He got multiple houses.
And not to boast in another man's line of things made ready to our hand.
Right. A lot of y'all learn from Bishop Nathanyel. Just keep it 1,000. Right. A lot of y'all learn from Bishop, and now you disrespect him. Look, young dudes, y'all got a problem with Bishop Nathanyel. Nigga, we'll put you over our knee and spank your little ass. Whoa! What are you talking about? You was a kid. Hell, I'm a child in this truth. We all children.
You know, I don't like this. This is starting to get weird because they keep doing this, Deacon. Every time we address a situation with IUIC, I always see one thing in common. They all think that we're secretly watching IUIC videos and writing down the breakdowns. I'm being honest with you.
Listen, then we should be teaching that God hates multiple wives. Yeah. I shouldn't have a hat on. We should be teaching that the mark of the beast is damn sin, something crazy. We should be teaching that Jesus Christ is the God of the Old Testament. What else should we be teaching?
The Sabbath is tonight.
Sabbath is. I'm going to.
Can't wear pants.
I'm going. Listen, I'm going to buy so much Don Julio Reposado tonight, right when the sun goes down. So, like, we got to stop that, bro. You guys you're putting in work. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing, but there are some false claims too at the same time.
But you're saying that you put brothers over your knee and spank them, but what do you mean? You're not going to do it theologically, apparently.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Because, nigga, we can really... No, I'm playing.
Oh, man. They probably look at us like badass kids.
No, we're the worst.
Children in this truth. Some of us just hit. If you would equate the truth to the time, if you would equate the truth to like a child's progression through, grade school, some of us might be 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. You feel me? Some of the senior captains, they graduate in high school now. Some of the deacons own up into their 20 years. They're adults. And then you got the bishops who are a full age.
The map cartographer. We are not Sakari. We're not affiliated with Sakari King. Shalom, no.
Grown-ups in this truth for almost 40 years. And then you got to do, he 3 years in the truth. He just learned. And then he said, I want to challenge the adult. You crazy. No 3-year-old comes up to a 36, 37-year-old man and say, yo, I want to smoke. The man laugh at his little ass. What are you talking about? Right, who does that? A brother that won't preeminence.
Well, listen, although Ron was wrong, but he's been around since like 2012, I think. And that's nothing on the bishop. I'm just saying he hasn't been in for only 3 or 4 years.
Is that the one built on Another Man Foundation? What that said? Is that in that same chapter? It's in that same chapter, I think. Yeah, verse 14. Is that it? Built on Another Man. Oh, that's no. I know what I want. Romans 16. Romans chapter 16 and verse 20, I believe. Yep.
The book of Romans 16, verse 20.
15, 20. Okay, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
Yea, so I've strived to preach the gospel, not where Christ was named.
Read.
Lest I should build upon another man's foundation.
Right. That ain't the spirit of Christ to go and build on another man's foundation. Another man has been invited to do an interview. You interrupt the interview that he has been invited to do to challenge him on something that doesn't have anything to do with the interview.
Stop being a damn fool.
That's why I said that's that crabs in the barrel, the children in the marketplace. That's that same spirit. It's no different. And I'm thankful that we got leaders that taught us how to deal. I'm glad Bishop dealt the way he dealt. He didn't get involved. Bishop didn't go back and forth with the brother for real. For real, he went through the scriptures and he left it as what it is. You only debate your equals. Everybody else you teach. Bishop Nathanyel don't debate none of y'all because y'all not equal to him. You understand? It is what it is. Some of y'all get mad about it and say that we glorify man. No, we just giving respect what respect is due. We give honor what honor is due. The Bible says, honor them that came before you, that were in Christ.
For the record, Genesis is not looking to debate you guys. So whatever camp is trying to debate you guys, leave us out of it. We're not trying to, I mean, we take all phase, but we're not actively calling you guys out for a debate.
It's before you, and that's what we doing. So it is what it is. You feel me? Go ahead, Cap. You got something? Go ahead.
And the host stated that before any questions were open up, the line of questions before he opened it up, he said, listen, ask questions according to the topic. He said that. Yep. The brother came on with no respect, took us in a totally different direction. Very disrespectful. Give me Mark chapter 12 real quick. Mark 12 and
Now, again, so if you guys are just tuning in, Ron Dalton has been on a press conference going in on the Israelites, saying that they're running from him. I'm gonna play some of this again.
Cam, you're not teaching truth. Like these guys, they don't know what you're talking about.
Real quick. You said we need to he need to debate Captain Tazariak. Let me just say this. Y'all know I love my captain, but Captain is the first one I called today, and Captain told me he don't want to debate him. Captain said he said I don't want to debate Ron Dalton. Now I don't know what reasons Captain had for that. That's on him. Maybe we can bring him on the show.
I know the reason.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this thing. A long time ago, a lot of the camps were teaching that all Africans are Hamites. You know what I'm saying? Africans are these African booty snatchers. They're all Hamites.
He keeps saying African booty snatchers, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
What would you want to debate him on, Ron?
Like I say to all the camp leaders, like Captain Tazariak, Elder Wakar.
So let's get into what actually happens when he debates in a formal debate. When he debates one of the leaders from the One West. I'm not an elder. I'm not saying I'm on Bishop Nathaniel's level, but let's just see what happens when he debates one of the leaders from the One West Israelite camps. It gets bad. He starts to deny the Bible. So this is a debate. Acclaimed author Ron Dalton versus Deacon Genesis. The Holy Land deception. Is the Holy Land in sub-Saharan Africa, like Ron Dalton affirms, or is it in the so-called Middle East? This is just the cross-examination part. You guys have to hear this. Let's play some of this. Let's play some of this.
I'm feeling like Superman Clark Kent. I had to go change my outfit. I'm feeling like Superman Clark Kent. Nigga had to go change up real quick, man. You understand that? I said, what? Okay, now I'm moderator. All right, I'm not moderator, I'm host. All right, let's go. 3, 2, we can start. All right. All right. Again, I want to thank Brother Ron for having this discussion. All praises. Brother Ron, how old is the earth? An estimate.
I don't think anybody knows that question. You know, if you go by the Bible and what they tell us, if we kind of go backtrack, they may.
Now, let me give you guys some context. In round 1 or 2, the Bible talks about bears. Elijah called the bear out to destroy them little kids. There's no bears indigenous to South Africa or Africa, period. One migrated up to the north, I believe, from the Middle East. but in sub-Saharan Africa, there's no bears native there. He tries to go get a bear and says, look, there's a scholar or there's information about a particular bear that was indigenous to South Africa. I looked up the bear, and the bear was millions and millions and millions of years old. And he's about to get destroyed. Watch this, y'all.
They say it's 6,000 to 10,000 years, but I hear others that say it's more than that.
What can you give us an estimate? Look, gun to your head, what would you say?
Well, I mean, some people say that 6,000, 8,000 BC is as old as they can
This
go.
is a scholar.
Basically to Noah.
This is a scholar who doesn't know.
Okay, 8,000. Okay, so you don't believe it's like a million years old? No. Okay. Do you know that the bear you presented, the source says the bear that you presented from South Africa is approximately 11.6 to 2.5 million years ago. That's when it existed. That's the source that you quoted for the bear.
That's cool.
But the Earth isn't that old though.
That's cool. If the bear supposedly is older than the Earth, then that's what the white man says. The age of the bear is. We know the skeletons were found in the Earth in South Africa.
Okay.
Then hey, it's in the Earth in South Africa.
I'm satisfied with that.
That's what happens when you debate a One West leader in this thing.
So when did the white man switch the land of Israel? When did they start this conspiracy of moving it to the Middle East?
Well, if we look at the history of when the Greeks and the Romans entered into Africa, and when they came to the continent, then this was according to what we would look at today's people writing the history for us, because at the end of the day, we know that the history that we get is written by the colonizers, by the victors, by the conquerors. So according to their history, the appearance of the white man into the continent of Africa started with the Greeks. And the Greeks, of course, were the ones that gave us our first Old Testament, which is the Greek Septuagint.
Okay, so the cover-up started around what, 300 BC when the Greeks came into power?
The cover-up started when the Greeks came into Africa, and they then just magically produced the Old Testament as if you had Israelites that had this all recorded down to some recorder. They had it all written down, and they just handed it to the Greeks. The story that they give us about the 70 elders and how they, were put into a room, and they all had to write the Bible out, the whole story, and they all matched each other, so it had to be a work of God. And that's how they came up with the Septuagint, because they had 70 people, that 70 Israelites that supposedly put together that book. Then this is when the Greeks had the power to change, add, delete, authorize, just like when you see a movie and it says based on a true story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what year would you place that at, circa?
Alexander the Great, they say, came in around 325 BC, and they say that the Greek Septuagint started in 250 BC.
Okay, so according to your answer, that means the cover-up started around 300 BC, in between 200 to 300 BC. Now, Herodotus existed 450 BC, which is 200 years before the cover-up, but he says that the land of Israel is in between Phoenicia and Egypt. So what's your response to that?
Well, again, Herodotus did not write the Bible. So if he didn't write the Bible, then who wrote the Bible then? Was it Herodotus or was it somebody else? Because
you gotta watch the rhetorical question, brother.
Okay, so Herodotus lived in I think the third century BC. So Herodotus claimed to be around when the Persians were ruling Asia Minor and areas where the Greeks had. And under his assumption, he believed that Phoenicia, well, Phoenicia is a Greek term, it doesn't necessarily equate to exactly what the land of the south or the land of Canaan is, but he used that term Phoenicia as what we will see today as modern day Palestine or Palestine, Lebanon, in that area. So, Phoenicia, when I look at the word Phoenicia, I equate that to being the area of the Levant, more honing in on the land of Lebanon. So he will be using that term to describe that at the land of sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay, well, he says that Palestine was in between Phoenicia and Egypt, so he wasn't equating Palestine to Phoenicia, but we'll move on. Did you say that the Bantu people were never scattered, only migrated?
The Bantu people, they migrated from Egypt south.
It's a yes or no question, then you can expound.
Hold on 1 second. I'll stop the time. Just for clarity, Deacon Hakai, you have to say yes or no in the question, whether beginning or the end. So it's not a yes or no question. He doesn't have to say.
Okay, got you. So I'll rephrase the question. Were the Bantu people scattered? Yes or no?
Bantu people scattered into sub-Saharan Africa and
I'll stop the time. You have to start off with the yes or no.
Okay, yes.
Okay. So on one of your shows, you said they were never scattered.
Scattered, because when you look at scattered can mean scattered within a land and scattered also across the ocean. So the word scattered can mean within the land and across the ocean. So I don't think that meant that in the term that they never left Africa or they.
To point out, I got to point this out. He's saying that during Alexander, that's when they said the land of Israel is in the Middle East and no longer in sub-Saharan Africa. But my point is Herodotus lived before Alexander and said that Israel is where it is in the so-called Middle East. That was bad. Now Ron is saying the Bantu people are the Israelites and they're all Israelites and they possess the land of Israel over there in South Africa. But the Bible says the Israelites will be scattered. He said the Bantu people were never scattered, disqualifying them and that geographical locale from fitting the prophecy. Let's continue.
They were all in one place.
Okay. All right. So Luke 21 and 24 says that the Gentiles would occupy the land of Israel until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So who are the Gentiles that occupied sub-Saharan Africa?
Okay, so the Bible says Gentiles would come to the land with the sword, and they, meaning the Israelites, would be led into captivity into all nations, not Babylon, all nations. And it said that the Jerusalem will be trodden down. The word downtrodden, trodden down means to oppress, to harshly treat a people, to not allow them to do certain things. Because when you are a downtrodden people, the same thing is trodden down. When you are downtrodden people, you're an oppressed people. So when the Gentiles came into sub-Saharan Africa, they did exactly that. They downtrodden the Bantu Negro people, as we can see today with the history of colonialism, slavery, and even what they're doing to this day. And they're still doing it to this day, even though the Bantu people are the majority in sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay, but it says until the time of the Gentile. Okay, so it's happening until. Okay, I'll take that. So Leviticus 26 and 32 says that our enemies would possess our land. Is that happening in the land that you believe is Israel?
Yeah, the land that's in sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, the Gentiles behind the scenes are still the puppet masters running the show. The colonial powers have never. We may have seen them leave physically, but they're still in control. And you can look at the policies and things being passed in Africa to know that the Gentiles still have a stronghold in sub-Saharan Africa. So they're still oppressing and doing exactly what they said the Bible says they're doing.
Okay. Can the Nile River drown 3 million people, the whole Egyptian army? I'm sorry, not 3 million, but how can the Nile River drown the whole Egyptian army?
The Nile River is not just a 8 feet, 10 feet deep body of water. The Nile River gets close to 60 to 80 feet. And anybody that's not a swimmer knows you can drown in a 10-foot pool, a 12-foot pool. Yes, that's possible. And
I'm
now
saying,
river
but
is
the width of it, it's the width on average is 8.5 of a mile. So one second. Okay, go. No, scratch that. So do you agree with the Bible that the Assyrians invaded the land of Israel?
According to what the Bible says, yes, and I have proof of that.
Okay, cool. Now, did the Assyrians invade sub-Saharan Africa?
That's what I meant by Israel, that the Assyrians and Babylonians did occupy the land of sub-Saharan Africa. I have genetic proof to prove that.
Okay, what's your source to prove that?
It's in H2N TV. There are genetic articles that prove that the DNA of the ancient Assyrians and Babylonians is mixed in our DNA, DNA.
So mixed DNA means that the people were conquered?
Well, when the Babylonians came and they conquered Israel and they came back to the land.
Holy smokes. This was bad. We taught the Greeks, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Romans all conquered Israel according to history, archaeology, and prophecy. But history, archaeology, and prophecy says they never conquered South Africa. We got a problem. This is where he says he doesn't believe in the Bible right here.
Of Israel under the Persians. Didn't Nehemiah and Ezra say that these people have taken on strange wives in the foreign lands?
Rhetorical question.
Rhetorical. Okay. No sweat.
Okay. The Bible says that they spoke strange languages from strange wives. So we know that when they were in the land of Babylon, maybe even when they were captured by the Syrians, that they intermixed with these people, therefore intermixing their DNA within the people.
Okay. Is there any historical evidence that the Assyrians conquered sub-Saharan Africa?
When you look at the historical evidence that we go by to assume that they invaded anywhere, you're going off just the writings of the Greeks. You can't use archaeological findings because all the findings, like I showed earlier, are in other countries. They're not in Israel.
Okay,
so
the Lachish relief.
5 minutes left.
Yeah, the Lachish relief says the Assyrians invaded Israel. So do you have any archaeology or history that says the Assyrians invaded sub-Saharan Africa? Yes or no?
Yes, it's in the DNA of the Bantu people.
I didn't say DNA. Historical or archaeological?
Okay, even the Lachish reliefs were not found in Israel. They were found in Nineveh.
Okay, my question is do you have any historical or archaeological evidence to prove that the Assyrians invaded sub-Saharan Africa? Yes or no?
There's no archaeological evidence in Israel show that the Assyrians invaded modern day.
Got to start with a yes or no. So I'm gonna have him restate the question, and then you just got to start with a yes or no.
No, I'm fine with that. We can move on. All right. Is there any archaeological or historical evidence that the Persians conquered sub-Saharan Africa? Yes or no?
Yes, there is proof, biological proof.
I didn't say biological. I said, is there any historical or archaeological evidence that proves the Persians conquered sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, DNA carries with us throughout history, so it's historical proof.
Okay, got you. All right. So now, is there any archaeological or historical proof that the Greeks and Romans conquered sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, I don't go by that because the Old Testament doesn't say that Alexander the Great invaded Israel. It doesn't say that these Greek kings.
I didn't say Alexander. I said the Greeks. The Maccabees does say that the Greeks invaded Israel.
How
much time do I have left?
We a little bit above 3 minutes. Just let them land.
Okay.
The first king that invaded so-called Africa or Israel was Alexander the Great, and that's nowhere in the Old Testament.
Okay, cool. So my next question is, you said the Edomites are in control of modern day Israel, correct?
The Edomites are in the land of the Horites. This is the land of the Neanderthals, the cave dwellers. That's what the word the Korite means. It means hairy cave dweller, and that's in modern day Israel.
Okay, so the Bible says that the Israelites will be out of their land in captivity until the time of Christ. Do you agree with the text?
Well, nobody is in slavery right now in the world that's Bantu people or Negroes. So yes, we are in the land of our captivity in America, but in terms of a sense of captivity, meaning a sense of oppression, then throughout sub-Saharan Africa and also the diaspora and also in the East, we are in a state of captivity. but not physically in chain.
Okay, why does the Bible say? Why did the Bible say Abraham went south to Egypt? And if the sub-Saharan Africa was the land of Canaan, he would have went north to Egypt.
Because south is going towards the equator, and Abraham went south. The word Negev means south. It's like you have a Hebrew word for north, east, and west.
Okay.
Body them.
And Babylon, you agree that Babylon is America?
Yes, I do. Well, the phrase "the daughter of Babylon" is referring to America. It's not referring to Iraq.
Okay, and Edom is south of Israel. So where is Edom according to you?
Well, the Bible says that Esau couldn't dwell in the land of Jacob, and he went far away from the land of his brothers to the land, of course, which is the land of the Horites, and he just dispossessed the Horites, and the Horites were there living in the land before he got there. And like I said, Seir the Horite means hairy cave dweller, and the most Neanderthal caves are seen in Israel.
Okay, so I'm asking you, if the Bible says the land of Edom is south of Israel, then where is that in sub-Saharan Africa?
The land of Edom, which the Greeks and the Gentiles say is south of Israel, is what you're going by. But according
I'm going by the Bible, Numbers chapter 34, verse 3.
Yes, and the first Bible was given to us by the Greeks, so we don't have an original Hebrew Bible written by Bantu people that we can refer to. So we have to refer to the writings of the Greeks. And it says in the Bible that Esau and Jacob separated, and Esau went far away from his brother to another land where he could live with his own people, and he dispossessed the Horites. The Horites were cave dwellers. The place on earth that has the most cave dwellers or Neanderthals is Israel. That's a known fact. Factual.
Are the Bantu people Northern Kingdom or Southern Kingdom?
I don't know the answer to that question. They're a mixture of all both, one and two, north and south.
Okay, so
1 minute left.
1 minute left. So in Numbers chapter 34, verse 3, it says that Edom is south of Israel. Do you agree with that text? Yes or no?
Well, we can go by the text and say
I'll pause
that
the
it's
time. You got to start off with a yes or no. If you can restate the question, Deacon Hooker.
Yes. So my question is Numbers 34 and 3 says that Edom is south of Israel. Do you agree with the text? Yes or no?
I don't agree with that part of the text. I think it's been off.
Whoa! Got him. Got him. That's how you get a nigga that not believe in the Bible. Whoop a nigga so bad he stopped believing in the Bible. Beat the Bezoy up so busy. We gotta hear that again. Beat the Bizoy up so busy. So my question is Numbers 34 and 3 says that Edom is south of Israel. Do you agree with the text? Yes or no?
I don't agree with that part of the text. I think it's been altered.
You got to the time.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the part of the text. No.
Okay, no, he doesn't agree with the text. Okay. So lastly, what I'll say is what do we got? Okay, in Deuteronomy 30. Oh no, 2 Kings 25. I'm all landed here. 2 Kings chapter
Last
2.
question.
Yeah, 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 25 to 26. It says that the Israelites are fleeing from Babylon. They're fleeing north. They're fleeing south, rather. Excuse me. They're fleeing south. Let me just pull that up. Let me pull that up real quick. Pause my time real quick so I can end it on this last question.
We good. We good. It's the last question. We good.
2 Kings 25. Okay. 2 Kings. And then once I start reading it, you can start my time. Let me see. Okay, boom. Okay. So Kings 25 and 26. Okay, in 2 Kings 25 and 26, it says, then all the people of Judah, from the least to the greatest, as well as the army commanders, fled in panic to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Babylonians. So the Israelites are fleeing to Egypt, but you're saying that Egypt is north of Israel. And so why would we be fleeing north if we're being attacked from Babylon, who is from the north? Whew.
Yeah, that's a good question. It doesn't give you the direction that they fled. We do know that Egypt is a location, but when you look at the Book of Jubilees, the Ethiopians say in their text that God warned Jeremiah to tell the Israelites that to flee Israel or Jerusalem, and on the way to Babylon, stop in Egypt. On the way to Babylon, stop in Egypt. This is in their text in the Book of Jubilees. a lady read it to me in Ge'ez and Amharic, and they said because of that scripture, they believe that the whole true land of Canaan is in sub-Saharan Africa. So on the way to Babylon, you would have to go through Egypt to get to Babylon. So this is in their text. So I'm going more what their text says. In Ge'ez, it's a Semitic language than what we have in our King James Bible, which is a Masoretic or Greek translation, authorization by the Gentiles.
Time that concludes.
Wow. Hassad, he said, what about the Book of Jubilees?
He said that Jubilees said this, and it's so ridiculous. And I went into it earlier. He said that the source in the Ethiopian Bible's version of Jubilees, where it says that the Israelites went to Egypt and stopped by Babylon on their way there. He said that God told Jeremiah to warn the people to do that. The word Jeremiah does not appear one time in the Ethiopian version of the Book of Jubilees. The word Babylon appears 2 times in the Book of Jubilees, and neither of those cases is it in reference to the Israelites fleeing from the Babylonians. This guy has no idea what he's talking about as it relates to this issue. Okay.
There is a link in the chat. Y'all can join the panel. Link in the chat to join the panel. Link in the chat to join the panel. All praises, questions, comments, smoke. Let's play a little bit more of this right here till we get some smoke.
Black rabbinical Hebrew upholding Torah tradition with the pedigree and the lineage. It doesn't have to be a direct lineage, but a lineage of Black men upholding Torah tradition. So I would like to ask you if you know historically that could be proven name and time period of a Black man upholding or Black men upholding the Torah as tradition like we see the Europeans doing throughout the centuries.
Okay, so the Bantu people, and I said this before, the Bantu people in Africa, different tribes, they are upholding.
That was a dumb question. I think him and Nepal. What did him and Nepal talk about?
God knows.
This should be good. Let's see.
Appreciate it, Ron. I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers. I'm just saying, community. So you got to think of them with support.
So
Hebrews, Negroes.
1 minute, Ron. You said who is Nepal? Here's Nepal. Nepal is going to close the show out. I got to make a quick run the floor.
Okay, great. Hi, how are you, Ron Dalton?
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think we met before, right? On the last show?
Yes, we did. We did.
Okay.
I don't think, I listened in, but I just want to be sure your position. So your position is like who? I didn't get to hear, unfortunately, who you say Esau is. Can you tell me?
Yeah, Esau is a lineage that has admixed himself with Africans, Shemitic tribes, and what you might call today European tribes. But he has not replaced, the whole European nation or the whole African nation or the whole Shemitic speaking nation with his bloodline, with his male seed. That's where the Israelites fall in error. And you can prove this easily with history, genetics, and other things. But mainly you can use history and genetics to steal the deal and just cancel all of these erroneous teachings on Esau is the white races.
Okay, so who put us in slavery? Under your tongue, leave it. Who put us in slavery?
Yeah, so when you talk about us, I like to describe us in terms of a DNA haplogroup. So regardless of what you're talking about, let's say the Kikuyu, the Abagusi, the Akamba, the Sukuma, the Zulu, the Xhosa, the Bukongo, the Ashanti, the Igbo, the Yoruba, you know, all the Mandinka in Senegal, Gambia, they all have the same Y DNA from the father, E1B1A. And
That's
on
not
the East African side, when the Arab slave trade started.
You said what?
That's just not true. That's the predominant DNA of West Africa, but to say that they all are E1B1A is incorrect. For example, my genetic haplogroup, my ancestors come from West Africa, but my genetic haplogroup is EP252 or EM96. So to say that they all have E1B1A, that's one of the larger ones, but that's not the only one.
As far back as 300 to 600 AD, the Arabs, the Black Arabs, were enslaving the Bantu people, our descendants or our ancestors. I'm sorry. They were taking us on slave ships or dhows to the Arabian, countries. The Indians also, the East Indians and the Persians, they also came along that Red Sea coastline of the East African, part, and they took a lot of slaves, Bantu slaves, to the east. Now, I'm talking about the transatlantic slave trade of Central Africa and West Africa.
He's double talking because he told me they didn't get scattered. Well, I mean, I don't know.
The European
triple talking
countries came to Africa, and the African kings and chiefs.
All right,
that were
the Lonely Prophet. What's going on?
What's happening, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you coming in hot, man. You one of them
What's
guys?
up, my brothers?
Who you
Man.
believe? Who you believe Esau is today?
Hold on real quick. I just want to say this, man. I want to say I love you brothers, man, for real. And I learned so much from y'all. That youngster right there on there, Hassad, love you too, my good brother. Man, hey, all the way back, man. At least 7 years I've been watching y'all brothers.
Oh, praises. Now it's time to die. It's like I'm playing.
Come on.
I'm playing. I'm joking.
Yeah, so the question was, who do I believe the Edomites are today?
Yeah.
I feel like that's not the easiest question. Some would say, the Arabs. Some would say, there's many different doctrines. I just feel like we know in part and we prophesy in part. We don't know everything, brother. And we just got here. We don't know a lot of what.
Didn't you say we were wrong? Didn't you say we were wrong?
Well, what I'm saying is, what I do know is the Edomites are not the white man, according to the Bible. According to the Bible, it's very simple.
What Bible verse says that Edomites are not the white man?
Well, you asking me in specifics as far as.
Well, you said the Bible says that Edomites are not white. So what verses tell us that?
Well, let me start right here. According to the doctrine, okay, that's out there, that in the nations that are being used to say that they are the white man, those ain't the nations.
I don't know what
you want me to prove.
I don't know what that meant.
For example, right? The Isles of the Gentiles, right? Genesis 10, correct?
Yep, let's do it.
So let me ask, go there real quick, but I'm gonna ask you this question, okay?
Yeah.
Because we have a major problem here.
Go ahead.
Don't cover your face up, Deacon. This gonna be simple. Yep. Watch this. Yeah.
I'm just tired.
Okay.
I've been real tired of bullshit lately. No, I'm joking.
No. Watch this.
I'm
telling you.
I'm tired in general. Go ahead, brother.
I hear you. Watch this. Here's my first question. Who are the Ashkenazi Jews? Are they Edomites?
Ashkenazi Jews are predominantly Edomites. Yes. The reason why they're called Ashkenazi Jews is because of the lands, not because of their descendants from Ashkenaz.
Yeah, but who is Esau?
What do you mean? Who is Esau?
Like what I'm saying, who does Esau descend from? Who does he come from?
He comes from Isaac.
Right. He comes from Isaac, Esau, correct? And those are Shemites, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so let's read Genesis 10. We're gonna start right here at Genesis 10, right?
No problem.
At the first verse, it says, "Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were the sons born after the flood." So pay attention to the Japhites, right? Watch this. Now here we go. The sons of Japheth: Gomer, Magog, Gog, Mighty. I don't never know how to pronounce all the names. And Javan and Tubal and Meshach and Tyrus. So who is Gomer? Who is Magog? Who is Javan? Who are these nations that we have listed on the table of nations?
We can answer that, and we did earlier in the broadcast. But for the record, you're supposed to be proving that the Bible says white people are not Edomites.
Well, just bear with me. This is what I'm saying. Look, so what I'm saying, remember, I'm saying according to the doctrine that's being taught that they are the Edomites.
Right.
That's my stance.
I understand, but can
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So wait a minute, I'm getting there. I ain't gonna be long with it. Trust me.
Go ahead.
What I'm showing you is that, and then you go on. Ashkenaz comes from Japhet.
Yes.
None of these nations come from Esau. Esau is a Shemite, brother.
Okay, brother. The reason why they're called Ashkenazi Jews is because of the lands that they came from, not because of their.
We come from all of these nations, not just Ashkenaz.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Because of their descendancy to Ashkenaz. Similarly, I believe Sephardic Jews claim that they come from Spain. Am I correct, Deacon?
The Sephardic comes from Spain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because of the word Sephardic going back to Spain has nothing to do
Which is what Tarshish, right?
What?
Tarshish, right?
That's what they say. They say Sephardim means Spain, but the scholars are saying that this is an unknown location. But
Right.
they anyway, because they're hijacking our identity, they're taking claim to the that name Sephardic.
Right. Nonetheless, they're using the geographical location in which they're from, then Jews, Ashkenazi Jews, Sephardic Jews. They're not saying that they are the people that come from originally Ashkenaz. They're not saying.
Yeah, but listen, don't lose my point. Don't lose me though.
Hold on, let the brother, lonely prophet,
clear.
let the man land his plane, brother, Lord in Christ.
For example, are Babylonian Jews, are they the ethnic people of Babylon, or are they Israelites whose their birthright is Israel?
Right, of course. I mean, I don't have a disagreement there.
Right.
But
okay.
what listen to my point. My point is when you're dealing with the seed line is what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The seed line. That's the only thing that I'm trying to make my point here. Because
are there Israelites? Watch how easy this is. Are there Israelites called Africans?
Listen, that has nothing to do with my point.
No, you're about to get destroyed. No, you're about to get destroyed. Let me tell you how you're about to get destroyed. Hold on. Let me tell you how about to get destroyed.
Y'all know exactly what I'm saying.
That Ashkenazi, that Edomites can't be Caucasian because there's Ashkenazi Jews. So that means these Caucasians would have to go back to Ashkenaz. Hold on. That's what you're saying. That's what you're asserting. That's what you're purporting. But Israelites are called Africans. Why? Because people can be called by the names of where they dwell. So if that's not your argument, I don't think anybody in this chat can understand what where you're trying to land your plane.
Yeah, at all.
All right, are you ready? What I'm saying? Watch this.
Yes.
Ashkenaz, Gomer, Magog, the Romans, the Greco-Romans do not descend from Esau. Esau comes from the Shemitic seed line. These nations come from the seed of Japhet.
Okay, so what did the original?
That's the facts.
The
Bible told you that.
Okay, cool. What did the original Japhites look like?
I'm not worried about what they look like, brother. What I'm talking about is, listen. We got it. I know you're gonna try to cut me because it's the truth, brother.
No.
See what I'm saying?
Tell me, according to history, archaeology, and the Bible, what the original Japhites looked like.
Oh, they were black folk.
So when did they turn white?
So is Esau a new breed of white people?
No, that's not what I'm
So
asking
it's a
you.
new breed of what I'm saying is, so what's the question? I'm sorry.
When did the original Japhites, who were black according to you, turn white?
Whoever said that they turned white, that's not my argument.
So who are the Caucasians biblically today?
You tell me who they are. You say they eat.
No.
He's out of here, man.
I want to
He's
just
outta
show
here.
everybody a source real quick. This is
You're out of here, bro.
This is Lamentations 4 and 22 in the this is the Targum Jonathan's rendition of it. After this, your iniquity will be finished, O congregation of Zion, and you will be freed by the hands of King the Messiah and Elijah the high priest, and the Lord will no longer exile you. And at that time, I will punish your iniquities. Wicked Rome, built in Italy, and filled with crowds of Edomites. He said the Romans, the Greeks, these are not just Edomites, these are just descendants of. You're done, buddy. All right, Makawar, what's up, brother?
No, you're right. Real quick, Makawar, real quick. The Bakawar is right. And this is why everybody needs to be in the Genesis Varsity online academy specializing in Hebrew apologetics. Buddy been watching us for a completion of years and has not acquired the power yet. So y'all make sure you join the varsity so you don't have to be like him. And I'm only on YouTube live once a week now. So if y'all want the real academic scholarship, extensive biblical sophistication, this is where you need to be at. Makawar, go ahead.
Shalom, brethren.
What's going on, man?
Chilling. Hey, I was wondering, I know that, there's a topic. I know you say you got it coming up about to talk about as far as whether or not we're in the new covenant or not. I was just trying to see if we can just walk through Jeremiah 31 to 34, and maybe I could see what you're saying, understand why you're saying that you still believe that we're in the old covenant based on what's written in verse 31 through verse 34.
We have a debate on it in 2 days, but I guess so.
All right, well then I tell you what, go and have the debate, and I'll come back after. We'll revisit this another time.
Look, whoever sent you, we're gonna send you back busted up and bloody. So go ahead.
No, not right now. I'll go ahead and like you said, you have a debate coming up on Sunday, and how about I stop back by next Friday? We can get into it then. But I do want to peep that debate. It's gonna be on this channel right here.
Nah, it's gonna be on. Everybody's been asking us to unalive this guy theologically, so we're gonna have to do it. I'm gonna show you right now and share it on my screen. Why is this interesting? Okay, there we go. All right, so the debate on Sunday, I guess you guys have all been wanting us to decimate this guy. Where's it at?
JP Uncut, it should be on there upcoming.
Oh, Uncut Part 2. Where's his main channel at? Did his channel did he get clipped?
Right here, Deacon. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, go ahead, share your screen.
All right. So it's on this channel right here at JP Uncut, right here. New Covenant Israel.
Yeah, this guy Dwayne debunking Hebrew Israelites from TikTok. We're about to hang that man.
All right, so since it's gonna be on the new covenant, I want to be hanging around and try and take none of my very, very strong reasons and sharp cuts and try to put into what he got going on. So I'll come back next.
All right, brother.
Shalom.
What's going on, sis? You're live on the show. Question, comment, smoke.
Hey, Shalom. Most high blessed to you, Priest Hakai and Hassad. How are you guys doing tonight?
Most high in Christ.
All right. I'm so glad to be on you all's panel. I have a couple of questions. Do you guys have time for me tonight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let me ask you this quick question. When it comes to source documents, what source information makes one more credible than the other?
Primary.
And what do you mean by that?
Eyewitness or close to it, the time period that's in the point of contention or in question.
All right, so let me say this to you. Do you agree that all Hamites are in Africa?
All Hamites are in Africa?
Mm-hmm. Come out of Africa, are indigenous to Africa? I don't know. I'm just saying, do you
No.
believe that all of them are Africans?
No.
Do you believe all Hamites are Africans?
That come from that continent?
I'm just saying, do you agree that all Hamites are Africans?
I mean, the land of Canaan, for example, those are descendants of Ham, but they are obviously in Israel. So,
from indigenous to the so-called Middle East. Now, if you say that the Middle East is a part of that continent, then that's another argument.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm asking is that are all Hamites Africans, or are there other nationalities, races, whatever you want to call them, Hamites?
There's Hamites that come from Africa. There's Hamites that come from the Middle East, but predominantly.
I'm asking, are there Asians, different type of races that are Hamites?
No, the Asians are not Hamites.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm just giving that as an example. Are there other groups other than Africans that are Hamites?
You could
Go ahead.
I mean, you could have somebody who has, is from Asia that has Hamitic lineage, but are you asking, are the predominant people of the continent of Africa Hamites? Is that what you're asking us?
No, you guys say that the Edomites are the so-called white man, correct? So my thing is, are you saying that the Hamites, all the different Hamites, are they all Africans, or are there any other groups outside of Africans that are Hamites?
Your question is really unintelligible, really, to start off with, because you're coming with a preconceived notion that we believe to be African has anything to do with ethnicity or bloodline. White people are called African. So there's Israelites over there that call themselves African. So you have to ask our position, understand our position fully, so that you can ask your question.
Okay, so the next question I have is, like when I asked you, I said, when does it come to source documents? So for instance, you guys agree with the Romans, who they are, correct? Where their location is, where they're from. Is that correct?
As it relates, like Italy, or where they come from?
I'm just saying, everything that they present about, the Romans, do you agree with?
That's an extremely loaded question. Do I agree with everything the Romans? I don't agree with everything anybody presents.
No, of course. What I'm saying is that, do you feel confident in the information that has been presented that those are the Romans? That's who they present as the Romans. Do you agree with that?
That who is presented as the Romans? The people who inhabit Italy right now?
As history. History says that the Romans came out of Italy. They say that is the Romans. Do you agree with that?
Do I think Rome is in Italy? Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to figure out, because the Hittites, for instance, are in Anatolia. They're from Turkey. They have a whole civilization. They brought in the Iron Age. And my thing is that I never hear anybody speak on these people. They had a war with the Egyptians, and they're of Caucasian lineage. Now,
wait, the Hittites are from Anatolia, you said?
They have settled, and they have, just like what the Romans did, the Hittites have a civilization in Anatolia, which is present-day Turkey.
You're saying that white people today descend from the Hittites?
The Hittites are an Indo-European nation.
I'm asking you, at least a decent amount of Caucasians, people who are identified as Caucasians, they come from
That is correct. Yes, the language that we currently speak right now, the English language, actually comes from the Hittites. And this is historically accurate.
Okay, wait a minute.
Based off of historical record.
Are Hittites a group of Canaanites, yes or no?
Yes, Hittites come from Canaan.
Okay, what language did Canaanites speak?
The language that the present language that the Hittites spoke, they brought in their own language.
Okay, so they made their own language that was completely different than from Phoenician.
Well, the thing is that the Hittites all have their own dialect. So the Indo-European language that the Hittites brought in is currently the language that is based off of the language that we're speaking today.
Here's the just linguistically. Here's the problem with that. When you look at Semitic languages, like when you look at Arabic and you look at Hebrew, Amharic, I think it was the language spoken in Ethiopia, you can see there's a common ancestor linguistically that they have. What you're saying is that the Canaanites spoke Phoenician, which is what the Hebrews spoke as well. And some random group of Hamites, some random group of Canaanites, all of a sudden they came up with English. You can see how Arabic descends from Phoenician. You can see how Amharic descends from Phoenician because they're closely related. But you're saying English is essentially a Semitic language that just mysteriously came up after this random group of Canaanites just randomly came up with it.
Well, we all know through the Tower of Babel.
I'm asking you.
We all know through the Most High scrambled everybody's language and dialect, right? That was during the Tower of Babel. So the thing is, and like I said, right now we're just talking, but if we really wanted to get more thorough as far as the dialect, I mean, the language that we speak currently is a branch off of the Indo-European dialect, which starts with the Hittites. How about that? Now, since you mentioned the Phoenicians, who do you say the Phoenicians are that came out of Africa?
Different groups of people.
And who are they? Because the Phoenicians were a very dominant group of people. They had the Phoenician trade route, correct?
What is this? Like, I'm trying to see what the point of all this is, though.
All of this is very important. The reason why it's important is because you guys are going out teaching that the Africans are the Canaanites, and they are not. And I want to know what evidence do you have to prove that? Because the thing is, there's tons of history. There's also, they have found their grave sites. They have found, like, if you believe the Romans are who they are, not too far from where the Romans are, for the Hittites. So what makes the Romans more authentic, their history, than what the Hittites' history is? Like I said, the Hittites are the ones that created the iron that you utilize today. They had the Bronze Age, and then they utilized the copper. They have the language that we're currently speaking. The Hittite word for water is the English word for water. This is all based off of history. Just like how you guys go based off of how we find out that we're the children of Israel. It's the way that we can find out that Caucasians, Native Americans, Hispanics all go back to the Canaanites.
Okay, so Canaanites are white peoples. Okay. Oh. The sister asked what we meant when we said pseudo in the chat earlier.
Did she just hang up?
Yeah, I didn't kick her off.
She just said what she had to say and hung up.
So white people are Canaanites, basically. That's what she's saying. White people are Canaanites, yet Ethiopians, who are brethren to Canaanites, are a completely different race. Yeah, she dropped the mic. And to answer the sister's question, no, I am not interested in a debate with you. And you can go on the internet and say I'm running. I am not going to debate you, sis. Much love to you. God be with you.
Okay. We are at our 2-hour minute mark. She right. She dropped the mic on her side. She tried to cook him and just drop the mic and get out of there. Fizzle, we on everything right now. What's going on? We on everything, Fizzle. What's good? Hey, bro, did you go research my answer yet? I mean, my question?
Can you hear me?
I hear you, bro, but my thing is this. Did you find an answer to my question?
What was the question?
When did Caucasians wait, so she did hang up on us. Oh shoot. So who do Caucasians go back to in the Bible?
See, what I want you to understand is that's not my stance. That's what I'm telling you.
What stance? We're asking you a question.
Just give me listen.
No.
What I'm telling you.
No.
Bro, wait. Okay, here's what we'll do. Let's make it fair. We'll make it fair. Are you familiar with West Coast rap?
Man, I watch y'all often. I know what the hell you talking about, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Y'all, I know y'all boys ain't like that, man.
Who was the CEO?
Come on, man.
Who was the CEO?
Well, let me just say this. I just want to let the audience know where I'm.
Put him on.
That was at the same time.
Perfect time.
Oh man.
We love you. Oh, damn, I'm about to bring it back on too. We love you, brother. We love you, brother.
Okay, so Fizzle, if you want to hop on real quick, pause, and then ask a couple questions before we get up out of here. Let me know. Somebody said I left before I got kicked out.
I didn't get fired. I quit.
Okay, let's see. You know, he had to. We love you, brother, but you had to get Suge Knighted. You had to get Suge Knighted. Any last quick individuals want to ask some questions on topic, off topic before we close out? If you don't click the link, you can ask it in the chat. Matter of fact, real quick, you know, we'll open the chat up for questions, comments, and smoke. If you don't want to click the link, go ahead, y'all. Run it up. All praises. Okay, this is a good question. Generally, yes. Wisdom of Solomon says God loves everything he created. Generally, yes. Until it's stated explicitly and verbatim that he has disdain and indignation for a certain people forever. Okay. Also, too, y'all, I gotta let y'all know this. Cash App. I know this happened to our brothers too. Or this happened to a few different brothers' camps. Cash App disabled the Cash App for y'all who support the ministry. So that the Deacon Genesis Cash App is through. It's no longer. They want to make it difficult to support the ministry, but all praises, it is what it is. So we do now have, but it's good though, because that was my personal Cash App. Now we have the official camp Cash App that's its own entity. So $ Genesis Hebrews, $ Genesis Hebrews. So y'all show some love and show some support for the camp and the ministry. Also, too, I made this announcement last week. Sister Erica, Princess Erica, an avid and longtime supporter of our channel. She said that her family fell on some hard times. So y'all show some love to that sister as well. Bubba Kusha, all praise to the Most High. That's her Cash App on the screen. Good sister. And keep her in your prayers as well, as her family is going through some hard times. This brother said, would y'all ever have an amateur debate club? Oh, you know, I tried to start that, but I have way too much going on. I don't know if I can do that. Can you name some scripts where it could be found that heathens are going to follow the laws in the kingdom? Zechariah 14 and Micah chapter 4. Zechariah 14, Micah chapter 4, Isaiah 56, Zechariah 8 and 23. All right, Hassad, I see you threw that shit on. You ready to go outside tonight, huh?
No, this is the same thing I was wearing. Don't you guys find it suspicious that Hassad said he doesn't want to debate who are the Canadians? That's what it says. Well, obviously, I know you meant Canaanites, sister. And it's not that I don't want to debate who the Canaanites are. It's one, I don't care to debate you, and I too don't find who are the Canaanites to be a very interesting topic at all. So
Yeah,
combine those two together, an uninteresting topic, and I don't want to debate you, and it's an absolute no on my end.
Yeah, to the sister's question, early church fathers and Christian sources do say that Luke was a Gentile. Can it be proven? No, but if you dig into that debate, they would have more evidence to support their position. When will y'all debate the fake Messiah? I wish. He don't want that smoke. He says you and Sai got to destroy Dwayne on Sunday in that debate. Listen, that's the goal, that's the plan, and Most High be with us. But at the end of the day, that's an open and shut case. It's just a slam dunk, so all praises for that. Okay. When will y'all debate is 1,000 years referring to the Dark Ages? Not necessarily, but just, the Edomite, the Caucasian, not having full control over the world like he did with the Greeks and the Romans until they came back during the Renaissance period. That debate debacle is going to be, we already showed you where the debate was going to be at. Deacon knows how important the Canaanites are. The coalition they have with the Edomites, Tyree, huh? Deacon don't know nothing. Deacon don't know nothing, Hunty. She knows the current people listeners. Okay. So yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and wrap this up, y'all. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's end this by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. We do so by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. We'll see y'all Sunday for this debate on JP Uncut, debunking Hebrew Israelites. Your ass going down. First
You're
round.
getting debunked. Shalom.
Shalom.